So, ayahuasca children of the future, if you come and do dietas, you might get something like this, which is a bit of tangerine or noodles, which is just spaghetti pasta in this case, rather than the packet chicken ones that you get, about this big. But you obviously can't have the condiment in it. It's a bit spicy, and this has got salt in it because I'm allowed salt, obviously, for the next 3 months. But in the jungle, you wouldn't have salt. It would just taste of nothing if you didn't put the ginger in it. And I've got coriander from the market today, so it should have at least a bit of flavour. It's very healthy. So you got beans, frijoles, you got potatoes, papas, zanahoria, which is carrot. And I've actually got some lentils in here as well because they were in the market, but we didn't have those in the jungle, but there's no reason why we can't get them. Maestro probably just didn't think. So that is basically, you'll have that twice a day, probably bigger portions, but that's enough. I mean, that's the size of my hand, so it's a relatively small plate, but you get a big bowl. But you get used to it, and that's just what you have to get used to, and the way it is. Egg with it, of course, either just boiled. So I've got a boiled one for later that I'll keep in the fridge just for a munchy later. And if we get coconuts from Maestro's place, my fridge has arrived, so it hasn't turned on yet, it's got to be standing for 4 hours. But I got 3 coconuts in the market, which are much cheaper, and they're already skinned, so all I've got to do is knock the end off to get the water out, the coconut water, and I just bought a blender. And of course, we will have a blender in the jungle soon when we get Starlink and we start building the Maloka and everything. Because obviously the blender is going to I'll view it as a second meal for the day, which is just various fruits with coconut water. Getting coconut milk, except in the cartons, is going to be a pain. You just can't seem to get it here, and if you do see it in tins, it's expensive. It's probably about $6 a tin, which is crazy, but that's the way it is. Because the big cartons have got preservatives and chemicals in them, so you can't use coconut milk from the supermarket. And they're really expensive there as well. It's like 13 soles or 14, 15 soles for a litre carton. And you can get fresh coconuts for 2 soles each. So that's the story. So that's your dieta in the jungle, what it looks like, and so you'll get used to that. The only day, depending if you do a dieta, say for 3 days or for 5 days, depends what Maestro determines and what you're actually trying to clear from yourself, whether a particular illness or an addiction or cigarettes or alcohol, whatever. We'll determine the plant dieta and the duration. Maestro will determine that, and then you'll have that food with no salt, except for if you change, maybe do a different dieta. You will have 1 day a week where you'll have a day with salt, and that just is like, whoa, it's your birthday when you get salt, the difference, because obviously the food's just not bland and boring. I said to him, can we buy some ginger, just have some food? Oh, yeah. Because normally if you don't have any flavour, it's just a plate of mush, tasteless, absolute bland, watery mush. Like concentration camp food, but not as bad. So that's what your dieta is all about, and for 2 weeks you've got to do that, so you can get in the hang of it, get used to it, shrink your stomach a bit before you come, if you ever do a dieta in the jungle. And you should do it for ayahuasca anyway. It'll make the whole process of going to any retreat, even if you don't come to us, it'll just make the transition a lot easier if you've got a smaller stomach, because the food in Lighthouse, for example, there's 3 meals a day, but they're quite small portions, and it does mess up a lot of people. They can't handle it. They can't handle the food, but most people are fine with it. They realise it's just it's only a week, if you go only for a week or 2 weeks maximum. That you have to have the strength of mind to get through it for your own good. If you can't do that, then maybe you need to rethink your strategy on what you're trying to achieve and what you're prepared to go through to meet those ends. And of course, you won't get any sympathy from me because I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've only recently got rid of all my ailments except this last one, which was my skin, which is absolutely amazing now. But I have to do that friggin' diet for 3 more months every day, as well as going into the jungle and having the no salt version when I do dietas in the jungle for extra stuff that I'm doing. So, you know, but that's a different story for me, but, you know, you got to toughen up a bit and just get on with it.